Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lens, where we talk to the fighters participating on CSL 007. And today we have got the co-main event, one half of the co-main event, I should say, Storm Willis. How are you doing, my friend?
All good, buddy. How you doing? You all right?
I'm very, very well. Thank you for asking. It's obviously, I say co-main event, it's a massive fight. The Midlands super welterweight title. So much is on the line. I mean, let's go straight into it. How has training camp been for you thus far?
Yeah, it's been good, man. For the first time in many years, I actually have a proper team, have a coach. I'm getting the work and like I should be doing, like I used to do back home in South Africa.
Mhm.
So I never really had that in the UK too much, but I've got it now, so it's pretty good.
I think that consistency always helps. And you mentioned how previously you didn't have that. And for those of you that might not know, but Storm has a great record, 24-5-1. Although he has had many fights, that is a crazy good record, especially in the scene that we are in. And of course, he has had fights in kickboxing, Muay Thai. How does it compare to boxing training, for example, and how you're preparing for this fight as opposed to previous fights?
I think the volume of so I would rate boxing very close to like Dutch kickboxing K1.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of volume in the strikes and the punches. Like in K1, there's a lot of volume in the knees, the punches, and the
Hmm.
kicks. Um, so yeah, boxing's a beautiful sport. There's a lot to it,
Hmm.
really.
Yeah, that's why it's called the sweet science. I mean, obviously, Storm mentioned K1 and kickboxing. I mean, luckily, there's no Rico Verhoeven that we're fighting today because that could be a very interesting fight. But nevertheless, it's a big fight with your opponent as well. He's very, very game. I mean, people are already talking about this being probably the fight of the card as well. So, how excited are you for this fight?
I'm very excited. I've got a lot of respect for Sam or Husam. He's a friend of a friend. I know
Hmm.
he's a good fighter. He's very aggressive, which you know what I love that sort of thing. Coming from a K1 background. We're very aggressive sort of style, so it's going to be an exciting fight.
Hmm. Has there been anything in particular in training camp that you have worked on for this fight, or has it been business as usual sort of thing?
Um, like I've been training all the time. I never really changed too much. I did see his last fight. Very aggressive, very forward. I sort of know what to look for. I've been doing this a long time, so you know we'll see what happens in the night. But I've been refining a few things. So yeah, we'll see on the night really.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to using in this fight that you've used that you haven't used before in training camp, or is that something that you're looking to kind of deploy on
Oh,
the night and make it a
100%, man.
secret?
I've been working on the things that I was really bad at. The problem with K1 or Muay Thai, for example, is there's certain shots that you throw that don't work well in boxing. So you have to refine those shots and improve those shots. And I finally got to a place where I'm actually very good at those sort of strikes. So it would be really good to use that during the fight. Um, I know it's going to probably be either a long fight or somewhere in the middle. We'll meet
Mhm.
somewhere. It won't be as quick as his last fight. Um, that I know. It will be a very good fight. I think everyone's gonna, leave with smiles on their faces.
No, I think I said it before, and I think Storm's alluded to it as well. It is probably going to be the fight of the card. I mean, when I looked at the card and I saw the names and I saw the records, I saw their experience as well. I was like, yeah, this fight for me has the makings for the fight of the card. And I mean, speaking of other fights, where would this rank in terms of where other fights you've had? I mean, this obviously is for the Midland Super Welterweight
Mm.
title. If you won this, what an achievement it would be. How would this rank in your previous achievements thus far in your career?
It's a difficult one because I was a South African champion for full contact kickboxing many years
Wow.
back at a very young age. Being South African, that's a massive achievement. I love the CSL shows. I've performed at many shows, and it's probably one of the best shows I've performed at. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be one of my most exciting fights. I truly
Mhm.
believe that. Where it ranks, it ranked quite highly, I would say, just below being a South African champion. So that would be, you know, what I'd say.
Of course, I mean you can hear it from Storm. Very, very passionate and very, very proud of being a South African. And obviously, right now South Africa are doing very, very well in the Rugby World Cup. They
Yeah,
won
yeah,
tonight. Today, 76-0 against Romania. So the Springboks are performing very, very well.
yeah. They're not doing too bad.
Of course. And moving forward as well, I know obviously you want to take one fight at a time. But are there any plans for the rest of the year? Do you want to fight maybe another time during this year, or is it this is the final fight for the year, and then you're going to look at maybe assessing plans going forward for next year?
So I train in different martial arts. We've got a couple of fights lined up after this fight in various martial arts, being K1, being MMA. To be honest with you, this would probably be one of my last amateur fights. I'm probably going to go pro after this and go fight pro K1 and pro MMA. This fight is really just to get my head back in the game and be consistent. I might fight one or two, possibly fight. I've been offered a few more fights, but unlicensed boxing after this fight. So maybe I'll do those and then I'll go pro. But there's a lot of options right now. But for the moment, I'm just sort of focusing on this one, really.
No, of course, that is the main aim, October the 14th. If you people that haven't already bought tickets for this fight, make sure you do. Make sure the event's going to be absolutely amazing. You can check it on my page, Ali's page, CSL. That's where you want to check it. And obviously, you mentioned that you're looking at potentially going pro. Obviously, being a proud South African as well. That'll be definitely a statement as well, especially in K1 as well. Obviously, there's a rich history of Dutch fighters being in K1, and obviously we know the history of how South Africa came to be, etc. That'll be an amazing moment as well for you.
So my style of kickboxing or K1 is very Dutch orientated.
Yeah.
So with the low kicks and those sort of things, I had the opportunity of training with you probably know him if you're a fight fan, the legendary Max Zambides. I trained with him back in Greece many years back. I've trained with a couple of UFC fighters. I was their main sparring partner a few years back for a couple of UFC fighters that are now in the UFC. One of my main training partners back home in South Africa was in the UFC. I trained with some really high-level guys. My coach, someone I was raised by, is Elaine Nagalani, who's a five-time world heavyweight champion, one of the fastest heavyweight champions for Muay Thai back in the day. So, I'm not someone to sort of be looked down at. This is going to be an exciting fight.
1,000,000%. I mean, the fact that as you guys are listening, his coach is Naglani, who, if you guys haven't checked his record, just go on his Instagram. Never mind his record. Go on his Instagram, see what he puts out on there, and you will see what sort of trainer he is and what sort of fighter he was. So that just goes to show that if, the fighters out there who maybe want to fight Storm going forward, do not underestimate him. And I don't think Silverback Sam will underestimate you as well. But before we do end this interview, are there any final departing words you have for Sam?
I just come in, be aggressive, man. I love that style. That's sort of the sort of thing I'm looking for. Someone that comes in forward. I fought a lot of fights at home in South Africa where guys, you catch them a couple of times and they run away. And his style is perfect. I'm very excited to fight him. Can't wait. I want him to bring that A game.
There you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth. And just one final message to your fans out there that'll be watching and listening to you as well.
I'm back, man. Back and better than ever.
There you have it, people. Make sure to check out Combat Sports League for any news regarding tickets and all that sort of stuff. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel as well. All the interviews will be on here. But thank you so much once again, Storm, for attending this. And I can't wait to meet you in person as well, my friend.
No worries, buddy. See you soon, man.
See you. Bye.